everybody. And welcome to the Not So Creative Podcast, episode number 2, where two Capricorns discuss anything and everything from anime, gaming, life, and dating. So today we're actually going to be talking about, I am just talking now, I'm Hallie, I'm Quinn, I'm everybody, and your best friend too. And I'm joined today with...
I'm Bridget. Hello. Death and cake. Here for the death, staying for the cake.
And today we're going to be talking about Dead by Daylight. We were playing it for a while, almost every day, for probably like 3 or 4 months. We're not like veterans of the game by any means. We started it after most people had already played it for probably 7 years, because the game is 6 years? How old is the game?
Yeah, I think 6 years.
Is that what we just played? Is that what the celebration was? I don't remember now.
I thought so. Hold
Okay.
on, I'll look it up.
Pretty sure we just celebrated the 6 years. We played it almost every day of the celebration too, and yet I still don't remember how many years it's celebrating. But we were taking a break, and then we played for the celebration of it.
Yes, it's 6 years.
So see, we're not veterans. We haven't played around for 6 years. I've interacted with some people that have played for 4 or 5, but we are not. We don't know what it was, and we can only say what it is now. So what I wanted to start with was like super basic discussions of the game, and that is our favorite survivors, our favorite killers, and all of that stuff. So for me, I have 2 characters. I started as Meg Thomas, and I prestiged her twice, and I wanted to do something new. So then I started working on Michaela, because everybody knows that me and my boons, I like to heal people. But after
Hallie
that,
Boons.
yep. And then actually, during the event, I started playing as Steve Harrington, which R.I.P. Dead by Daylight lost all the rights to Stranger Things, so we will not be seeing any more of that.
Sad day.
It is.
Vecna would have been a good killer.
I mean, even adding in like I guess I don't know if you want to play as a kid per se in the game, like one of the 15, 16-year-olds, but even adding Jonathan, or adding like one more adult character, or even Hopper. Imagine running around as Hopper.
That would have been cool if they had a Hopper and oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank on her name. Oh, what's the mom's name? Joyce.
I was gonna say Winona
Joyce,
Ryder.
like if you would have, yeah, Joyce. If they would have had like a pack with the 2 of them.
Right, and then you have Steve and Nancy, and then Winona. See, I'm gonna call her Winona now. Joyce and Hopper. But for
Yes.
you also have played as 2 characters mostly for survivors.
Yes. So I normally main as Elodie, just because I like most of her perks are not really like too beneficial to me per se, but I mean also she looks like me, so like that was kind of the main draw. Um, but I've also started using Nia, or Naya, however you say it, but her perks actually I feel like are beneficial. Because she has one that like allows you to, when you land, you run faster, and just being able to sneak better, because Lord knows I'm tired of getting my butt put on the hook.
Yeah, I feel that. That's kind of why the only reason I like don't like my characters is because like I have slippery meat, but for me during the event specifically, slippery meat wouldn't let me off the hook probably 5 rounds in a row, and that's a really bad odd realistically for the game. Usually it's probably once every 2 or 3 games if you're leveled up with purple and have some luck on, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
You got off the
Yeah.
hook way more often than I did.
I will say I don't have too many issues with the slippery meat. Like for some reason it was really working for me. And now that I think I have it on both characters, I feel like I'm set. But I feel like I have to get Nia up to the purple level.
Yeah, I have some good builds. I remember like building up Steve basically to where I want him, and I like want to prestige him because he hasn't been prestiged yet, but the other 2 had. So it's kind of that decision is do I want to rebuild him from the bottom up or whatnot? And that's one thing I hate about the survivors, and I guess the killers, is like you want to prestige them, but like you're
And you
not
lose everything.
guaranteed. Yeah, you're not guaranteed what you're gonna get, especially like slippery meat isn't like a guaranteed perk for them. And then
Yeah.
other ones that pop up like Nancy Wheeler's perks. We're talking a lot about Stranger Things, but like her self healing where you go in like the
Just a
locker.
continuation.
Everything will go back to Stranger Things at some point.
At some point.
But like I like her locker one where you go in there, you stand in there for what 10 seconds, and you heal yourself. So that's like
Yeah.
I use that perk. I use the boon perk. So it's like I have the boon perk on Steve too. So like that. That's why it's so hard for me to like want to read. Right, I'm just like a healer all around. I don't even have to carry a health kit with me if I don't want to. So I can use a toolbox then, and I can speed up the hooks a little bit more. And
True.
yeah,
True. I do like using the toolbox to help speed up the generators.
right. Especially when you're like when you hear the killer come and you're like, shit, I just gotta get this done. Like I'm good at now saving it until those moments where I like absolutely need to use it. Um,
Yeah.
because you don't want to like waste it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the hard thing is that you only usually get enough charges for one generator, which I think sucks.
Or a half of one if you're working on it by yourself.
Yes.
But I would say for what we've talked about, I know Slippery Meat, I would say, is a favorite perk only because we both use it. Whenever it comes along, we're like Slippery Meat. Oh, I'm purple. Oh, I'm only green. Yada yada yada. Like that's always one of our favorites. Obviously, the boon perk's one of my favorites. Um, I don't know if there's really any other perks for. I guess the visual ones. I like being able to see where either A, the killer is, B, the other survivors are, or C, not being blinded in general.
Yeah. I will say definitely being able to see the killers is probably my top list of perks. I don't really need to know where other people are unless I'm like on the hook, which the game gives you that. So,
It does, and that like, unless you're blind, which I
unless you're blinded, no.
usually if you're on the hook, you're not blind, which is nice. I say usually because that doesn't mean
Usually, yeah.
it doesn't mean a killer doesn't have a perk we don't know about. But I have to say my favorite builds connecting to before is the Slippery Meat mixed with the Nancy Wheeler perk, mixed with the boon, mixed with a perk that I don't remember what it's called, but it is where you can see the killer for like 5 seconds after a generator is done. That would be my perfect
Yeah.
build right now of those four.
Yeah, I would definitely go with slippery meat for sure. One of the ones that lets you see the killer. I think I prefer the one that you can see the killer when the generator's just been finished. And then I don't know what the perk is called, but Nia's one where when you jump from a height, you get a little bit faster. That would be my next one. And then probably have to say probably the perk where you do get to go in the locker and you heal yourself.
It's
That would probably
helpful.
be my last one. Yeah.
Definitely if you don't have a tool, if you don't have a health kit and you forget to put one on, or you forget to put one on, just because then you can just find a totem and clear it. Also, clarification
Yeah.
with the boon, it's the healing boon, not the stupid boon that erases your
The
footsteps.
stupid boon. The lie boon. The boon that
Literally.
lies.
That is not Hallie's boon. That is not my boon. You will never see me use that boon. I will never ever activate it. Or even pick that perk for that matter and waste my blood points on it.
So disappointing when you get in it and then it's like, no healing for you.
Nope. I like to help other people by making boons.
I am a true Slytherin and I just focus on myself.
I know. Until I'm dying and I need help.
So you're dying and then I help you. I have to save my pet Hufflepuff. I can't leave the Hufflepuff alive.
Hey, we gotta hide too. We gotta run behind a rock. We gotta run behind a wall. We can't do it out in the open. Can't have the killer find us. And if it's the nurse,
Yeah,
we're just
no.
out of luck and we're all gonna die together.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the nurse was painful.
Yes. And then the last part that is big on survivors is I don't really have like a specific favorite character that like I'm like, oh my god, they're this survivor, but it's Leon Kennedy. We always point out the Leon Kennedys.
Leon Kennedy. Yep. I will say, what's the name of the girl with all the cool outfits? Like, she's probably my favorite because she just gets so many outfits.
Yeah, I don't remember her name, but she does have very cute outfits. And that's what actually pisses me off about the survivors is I feel like a lot of them don't have cool outfits.
Yeah,
They're all super
no.
lame.
And then also if you get cool outfits, sometimes I feel like they make you more visible. Like Nia's, like one of my favorite outfits of Nia's, like her hair is bright blue.
Right. Well, and that's like, and when you want to prestige them and you want to show off, like, I am covered in blood, you only can do it on the OG outfit, not on any of your upgrades. Which
Yeah,
I
I hate that.
Which I was thinking about a bunch of things that I thought that would be cool to add to the game, but I was like, I think one of them should be in the clothing category because you can do full body, you can do upper, lower, head, whatever. Is an
Hmm.
overlay. So like the last column would be
Yeah.
overlay, and you can unlock the head and the torso and the legs.
They would just need one of the like developers to go in and create like a mesh for every outfit that comes out.
Well, I mean, why not? I've been around for 6 years. Just add a little bit
Yeah, I
more.
know. It's like, come on, guys, deal with it. And the name of that character was Fang Min. That's who I
Yep.
was thinking of.
Yep. It's been we haven't played recently, so like everything is like really digging deep into my memory.
Mm.
We've been in
Yeah,
a different vibe recently. But I do have Dead by
yeah.
Daylight on my stream list. What next week? I think. So
I think
I'll bring it back then. It'll be great. For the killers, we don't. At least I don't think either of us really ever play online killers. It's usually just when we're playing with friends and there's five of us.
yeah.
For me, my favorite to play as is the Dredge now because he's very cool looking. But I also like playing as Ghostface. Ghostface is probably my favorite killer in the game, and favorite horror
Yes.
character as well.
Yeah, Ghostface is a good one. Ghost, I will say the memento mori for Ghostface is what brought me into the game because that was just chef's kiss. And then seeing Michael's memento mori was double chef's kiss.
Gets really close and personal with Michael,
Yes,
and very
very up close and personal.
and very intimate with
Like,
Ghostface.
excuse me, take me out to dinner first.
He probably tried it and it didn't go well.
Yeah, he's probably just standing outside my window, like, would you like to go on a date, like with a sign, and I'm just oblivious to everything, and he's tired of my crap, and that's why he's killed me.
That's why. So I will say Michael Myers is one of my least favorite characters to play against, simply because
Oh yeah,
when they're powered up, they are powered up. Like they're literally standing outside the window, staring at you from a distance. You turn around,
yeah.
you scream.
There is no, there. It doesn't matter that he moves at a snail's pace. He takes like a 3 foot stride.
Right. The tall man, 6'7", right? He's 6'7", six
6'9",
nine, six
6'9".
nine. Yeah, tall man. Tall man take long strides.
Call me and make long strides. Pick me up by belt loop. Throw me over shoulder.
Oh, that's what Ghostface does too. But anyways, I also
As we get distracted.
I will say the pig, one of my least favorites to play against, simply because she
Oh,
also hides her presence and then frickin' sprints at you. And then you're
I feel
just
like my toughest nemesis.
yeah, and that's the other one I don't like them. I don't like any of them. I, I feel like they always just nerf the survivors, then make all the killers so much stronger. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't like any of them.
I feel like we got really good at the doctor. I feel like we got really
Yeah.
good, even though, like, I don't know, the doctor's just hard to avoid, like, because that radius that he does where he makes you scream. But I feel like there's been a lot of matches where I've gone a very long out being found.
Yeah, I think the other thing is the people that have the like ones where you have to choose many actors, like the bear trap, the pig with
Oh
the
yeah, the
thing on their
trapper.
head. Yeah, no, the bear clamp,
Oh, the bear trap
the
from
jaw
the pig.
clamp
Yeah.
from the pig, or the plague, and you have to go like get yourself unsick. The ones that have like an extra
Oh,
step in order to feel better.
yeah. And like Freddy Krueger with his dream, which I've only faced him the one time, which I'd be interested to try it again.
Well, I guess we gotta find somebody that has a Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
I would say the other one that we don't bring up a lot is the Blight because we don't play the Blight a lot, but he is fast.
I've actually don't think I may have only played one match against the Blight, if any.
We
Yeah.
played him twice in a row, actually, one of our last rounds, because
Oh, really?
we died really fast. He was glowing and he was around a corner. I don't know. It's been a while, but
It's been a while.
yeah, we ended up getting him, and it was like ironic because we had like really never played him before then.
Hmm.
Um, but I
We've only gotten the Dread like a handful of times too.
right, and we got him that first time with the cool mannequin looking face thing.
Yes.
The upgrade. I will say the Dredge does suck to play against. And you can lock him in the lockers, but once he breaks it, you can't relock the locker. Fun fact, if you didn't know that. But I remember when we did play against him, I would just run around and lock them all but he could see the radius as to if you're close to a locker. So
Yep. The whole being able to pop in and out of the lockers thing just gives me so much anxiety.
yeah, but don't forget about the twins when that little sucker comes out of nowhere.
So the twins are is the one of the few killers that I do have besides Pyramid Head, which I think that if you get very good at the twins, you could totally destroy people with having like essentially two characters that you have. But Pyramid Head is very more straightforward, and I like him for that, except for the I forget what the move is actually called, but where he drags the knife around across the ground and it like puts all the barbed
Mm-hmm.
wire. That's fun when you get people, but it's hard to aim,
Okay.
and it takes so long.
Yeah, I can imagine. I feel like it's not like so the plague, 'cause I have the plague. Her vomit is similar, where like you can attack. It doesn't like injure them or anything, but it makes you sick. Where you can kind of just like fling her around and it goes everywhere. But like you said,
Hmm.
with yours, like you actually have to aim, so it's like a targeted. Like you have one fell sweep.
And it doesn't always work if you get like close to a wall. Like I've seen some people like if you're far enough away, it'll like just clip through whatever wall is in front of it. But it never fails that I always mess it up.
Well, and that's another long distance. So we have the huntress who throws axes. You get a very limited amount of axes. I think the best long distance attack, in my opinion, is the trickster. You have to hit
Yeah,
them a lot, but you do it like throwing, and then when you get the I forgot what the word is, but it's like his special attack where he just his arms go in a circle and just attack, just straight up
yeah,
knives everywhere. But I forgot what it's called, like the show or something. He has his specific attack, and it just throws knives. It is hard to aim though; it's very sensitive, especially with somebody with me that turns my sensitivity down anyways because I like jag my mouse everywhere. Um,
hmm,
but he long distance attacks are nice if you can use them properly
yes,
and you practice.
yeah. I definitely need some more practice with my killers, but I only play with when we have five people.
Right. I when I first started playing, I was definitely a killer main, but the more we played, I was like, nah, I like playing survivors. Like when I'm playing with random people, I'd rather be a survivor. Surprisingly, even though I'd rather play with friends.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I just don't like playing with strangers on the internet.
You're right. But it's fun when you're like two of us and then some strangers, even though they might be, little kids,
Yeah.
trying to make our lives hard.
Dead by Daylight is one of the few games where I can play with other people and not get frustrated as much. I mean, it's still kind of frustrating when like somebody doesn't help with the generator. Like there's been so many moments where me and you have been like getting things done and then like the two other people are literally just running around in a circle. So that can be kind of annoying, but I don't know. I feel like I more rage when it's a random in Fortnite.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. But at least we can kill them at Fortnite.
True,
don't
true.
don't
I
have
can
to
just
heal
let
your
them die.
yeah. You don't have to heal your
Yeah.
teammates. Just like in Dead by Daylight, technically you don't have to heal them there either.
Yeah, no, technically you don't. You can actually. I think a lot of Lori's perks like rides on you being the last person alive. So
Interesting. I know. So that's like what Devin hates about the game is that you can't fight back, and like Lori's isn't super fight back, but like you can stab them. You have Elodie's right that could drop the pallet, or is that
yes, Elodie's is the dropping the pout one, which I still haven't 100% figured out how that works. But it's happened I think 4 times since I've started using her.
right? I feel like killers like subconsciously know not to walk near pallets. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know, but I do like the attacks that you can attack them back. But like I said, it's not every time, and like I do
Hmm.
get why it's frustrating why you can't fight back because like it's like in a real horror situation. I'm not just gonna scream and wiggle. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna kick you in the balls. Like I don't know. I'm gonna pull on your hair. I'm gonna do something as I'm flailing over your shoulder.
If Michael grabs me and like puts me over his shoulder and like my face is like over his back, I would just pinch his butt the whole time he was carrying me. Be like, pinch, 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 pinch.
What if they're ticklish? You could literally just like tickle them. I don't.
That's the secret all along. Along, Michael Myers is ticklish. If somebody just would have frickin' tickled him.
Can you imagine him laughing in the mask?
What if it was like high pitched too? It's like,
he is such a low talker that I can it'd be like a creepy, like clownish laugh
Yeah.
rubbing against the rubber
Yes.
mask.
And
Um,
it's like he breathes in really hard and sucks the mask into his mouth like
yep, and then you gotta choke it back up. But for the killers that we've wanted to see added, we've talked about this kind of before, and I said I really want to see Chucky. Of course, it's a little bit hard because Chucky's a smaller character. He probably comes up to most people's waistbands, maybe. Um,
I feel like he's knee height.
really,
He's like the same size as Victor.
in all of the movies,
Yeah, I feel like the doll was always about maybe only about like trying to see it on the camera. How like about that. Like
well, I see now. That's the thing is like I feel like they could come up with a way where he could like drag them. Obviously, as a knife, so it's like that would be his weapon. But like,
yeah.
I feel like they could make some cool things happen with him.
They could just like make him about half height. Like it wouldn't have to be like accurate, but yeah, it would be cool.
And then of course
I'm trying to think of what kills in the car.
we've talked about it. Um,
Yes.
Now imagine like a red balloon perk. Like, oh my god, like all of a sudden in front of you, like a boat like swims by, and then you see a red balloon, and then oh my god, there's like
I would scream and cry and piss my pants because yeah, no, that would be an amazing killer and they could do so much. And especially if they had a map for that, like, and it was like, oh God, they could either do like the street in front of like Georgie's house or the sewers or something. I don't know, but it could be so cool.
well, they could even make it like because you know how they add things for certain killers. So like on the pigs, they add like the jigsaw boxes. They could add
Yeah.
sewers into the map, and that's his perk. Is like he can also jump around.
Oh, yeah, like kind of like a Demogorgon like teleport type moment thing, but instead
They're like permanent
through the
places.
sewer culverts. Yeah,
Yeah, pretty sick.
that would be cool.
Other than that, I don't really think there's any survivors other than the two we mentioned from Stranger Things. Because survivors, like, I don't really play horror games for the good people.
Yeah, they could do the adult versions of the kids from It if they wanted to.
Yeah,
I think it'd be cool if they had Richie and Dan. Is that his name?
I don't remember any of their
It's been a minute
names.
since I've seen the movies.
Yeah, tell me about it.
The one that ends up committing Schlu or Schlide.
Slip and slide.
That one. Yeah, this went down the good old metal slip and slide.
I don't remember the
But
movie at all. It's been a very long. I was living in Florida when I saw one of them.
saw the first one 3 times in theaters, and then the second one I think I only saw in theaters.
I think I saw the first one actually twice, surprisingly.
Yeah, I had a friend. I went with a group of friends. Had a friend that was really obsessed, and she had already seen it, and we both had the day off, and we were like, you know what, let's go see it again. And then I think the third time, I just decided to just go by myself.
Why not? Why not go watch it by yourself?
I thought it was hilarious. The second movie had me cracking up the entire time. Not like I think the only time that I got scared was when Beverly goes to her old house and it is there or Pennywise is there as the old lady. I knew what was going to happen, but it's still like I just the anticipation of waiting for it to happen is what like got me a little nervous.
I feel like old people are scary in scary movies.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, especially if they cast like actual legitimate old people to do it
yes,
too. Like I need to see that one horror movie. It's called The Visit, I think. It's where these kids like go to their grandparents' house, and then
yes.
like really creepy things happen, and it's like all centered around the old people. Terrifying.
Yeah, and I think it's because like even like with the mask when they like have makeup and prosthetics because like you know the old people are like spiky teeth or like whatever like everything about it just seems creepy.
Yeah, old people can be creepy.
Same with little children.
Oh yeah, they did you see that they're making an orphan prequel movie?
I did, and I actually used to. I watched The Orphan, and that is you know what I you know where I bought the movie from Blockbuster when it was shutting down.
Yeah, that was a minute ago. I do. The Orphan is one of my favorite like twists
It was
um
30 year
movies.
old what 30-year-old woman something like that Spoiler.
Yeah, yeah, I think she's like
Spoiler for the
30,
movie.
40. Spoiler for the movie that's been out for years.
Obviously, since they
Um,
bought it from a blockbuster.
yeah, I will say I've watched the new trailer and I've seen what type of like editing they've done to the actress's face. And like it's okay.
We know horror movies don't get big budgets here, Bridget.
I know, but it's like and it's a new technology and they're testing out. I understand they wanted to use the same actress, but it's just like
Well, it's a prequel,
is
so that means
noticeable.
she's younger than she was, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's supposed to be her first time, like her first adopted family, I think.
I have to go watch the trailer. I did see it. I never watched it though, so I'll have to go check it out.
The only really difference is that you can tell the actress's face filled out obviously as she got older, so
Right.
her face is wider. So they kept that wideness, but just kind of like toned down her age, like in her eyes and her like mouth area. So it's just like
A little too obvious.
if you don't, yeah, if you don't like go watch the old movie and then go watch the new movie, you probably won't bother you.
Okay.
But I had watched the first trailer and then from the first movie and then watched the new trailer and I was like, oh no.
Maybe I won't go because I was gonna. I saw the images. I saw like the two image comparisons. I'm like, oh, are they using the same actor? So I was gonna ask you that, but you answered the question before I had to ask it, which was
Yep.
perfect. But yeah, maybe I will just watch the trailer and just see if I can tell from memory,
Yeah.
which maybe I won't be able to because it was again so long ago.
So long ago.
Um, but we again touched. Actually, she'd be a pretty cool killer. This like little girl.
Or the or what about the ghost from Mama?
Is that the
That
one
would
that
be
looks like a
terrifying.
nun, or is that from the nun?
Uh it
Is that
it oh the nun would also be terrifying. I mean it kind of looks like the nun. I she was very like elongated and dark and black and like her face was like
I'd have to look it up. I
very
haven't
long
seen
well
Mama
and
in
like
such
that.
a long time
Yeah.
either. But I'm surprised they don't have anything religious actually. Well, they have the plague, which she.
Yeah, but that's like an old school religion. Like I'm surprised they haven't gone full Catholicism like demon
I know,
moment.
like they have the Oni from not religion, but like from different history, and they have plague from a different
Yeah.
history, but they don't have anything from like now or like even the 18 or 1900s.
Yeah, I feel like the which because even I think the backstory. I think the backstory of the Blight is I don't know if he's American or not, but I know he was kind of like 18, like 17, 1800, like medicinal type person. So I think that's the closest we get to like that kind of thing.
Hmm.
But but yeah, the nun from the nun, the Conjuring series would be terrifying, or the
Yeah.
demon from Insidious.
I was gonna say Insidious, but I could not remember for the life of me what it looks like. Because again, all these I used to be super into horror movies, so like this is jogging my memory back from like 10 years ago.
I recently have gotten more into horror movies. I used to not like the Conjuring series is still probably the few series that's I can't watch by myself. Um, but other than that, I've kind of slowly gotten more and more desensitized to it, like to the point that like I actively kind of seek it out.
See, now, because back in the end of high school, beginning of college, I was super into horror. I worked in a haunted house for 3 years. So, like, I was always surrounded by horror. I watched The Ring by myself at home when I was a child. Not a child, but, like,
Oh,
middle school. It was one of my big horror movies by myself. So that's why I actually really wanted her, and that's why I have her as a killer. But, yeah, I haven't been into horror as much as I used to be.
yeah. I'm just trying to think of like good horror movies that have like come out that I've even watched recently.
I
So
think
like The Conjuring is the last series that I watched, which I haven't even seen the most recent one. The Devil Made Me Do It or whatever.
it was, I think, the last movie that I specifically saw in, like, theaters even.
What did we go see? We went and saw something recently.
Was it the new Scream movie, new Ghostface movie, the new?
No, actually, I haven't seen that. I just remember Top Gun being a trailer before the movie. Oh, Doctor Strange. That was the last movie that I've seen in theaters.
I mean, it had horror
I was
aspects,
like,
but
what?
definitely not a horror movie.
Oh yeah. No, not a horror movie, but had moments that I was not expecting. Like
That's what
the
I've heard.
moment where like obviously spoilers for some reason if you haven't seen that movie
Me.
yet, but oh, you haven't? Well, then maybe I won't
You
say
can say
anything.
it. It's fine.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Well, there's a part where Wanda goes to kill Charles Xavier, Professor X, and like her face comes out of this fog, and it's the most terrifying like zombie scream like jump scare moment. I was like, I knew it was gonna happen, but I was still like, okay, Disney.
Disney really coming at you. Maybe they want to do their own spooky haunted house. You know who would else be really cool? I don't know if they'd be a survivor or a killer or whatnot, but and it's not even a horror movie. But I just think Captain Jack Sparrow for some odd reason, or like Willy Wonka, like some like creepy like think about Willy Wonka now. Just imagine Willy Wonka.
What if Willy Wonka as the killer?
Yes,
Like he's
yes,
the killer. He
yes,
went psycho and
yes.
started putting children in his cookies or in his candy bars.
How amazing would that be? And when he does the special kill, chocolate just oozes out of like your eyeballs and your ears and your mouth and your nose.
That would be cool if like his kill was like hooking up to like a giant piece of like chocolate machinery and you just
Just boop, like the chocolate kid did. Um,
yep.
but we totally got off topic there, and that's fine. We can talk about horror another one. Maybe that's another good topic. Maybe we'll watch some horror movies and then talk about them. And
I'm
again,
done with that.
we kind of touched on this earlier, but when we talk about matches, like we were playing online, it's like what makes or break a match, and it's definitely the other people. A, when they don't cooperate, they're not doing generators, they're just hiding around and running around. B, when they take you off of the hook and the killer is right there. C, there's a lot of irritations. When the killer is just too strong.
Nemesis.
Or Michael Myers leveled up all the way and knows how to use him.
I feel like I can handle Michael Myers on his best day. Nemesis, I don't it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are, what you're doing. If you're playing Nemesis, I give up.
Well,
I give up.
he's fast. He's a long distance attack. He has zombies that can attack you. Like he has a lot of aspects of him that makes him
Rude.
very strong.
Rude.
What else pisses me off about matches is that when you sabotage a hook, they regenerate in like 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, like that is. I thought that it would at least stay down for a couple of like minutes or something, but I swear there was one time that I like took down a hook, literally walked 5 feet away, turned around it, and it was already back on.
So what's the point? Because the killer can just stand there, wait for the hook to regenerate, and then hook you.
Yeah.
It's dumb. Maybe they just expect you to wait
Uh,
faster. I don't know.
yeah, that and I feel like if everybody gets hooked like at least once in the first few minutes of the match, that makes it rough.
True.
Or if at least two people get hooked, I feel like it makes it rough for everybody because you have to run the risk of saving them, and then if the killer gets you while you're saving them, then that puts you on the hook, and then they have to save you. Yeah, and from there it's just all downhill.
And if you don't save somebody, even though you know it's not the right time, they're gonna message you on Xbox and be like, "You are a piece of crap."
Like that one person who messaged me, I'm really sad that they stopped the conversation. I wanted to keep going. I thought I was being funny.
We are
They were
funny.
so mad that I was busy with a generator and they were really far away.
That's like the thing is like, and I get it. Like we sometimes we will now because I complain about it. Go for each other even when we're on the hook really far away. But like I'm not gonna risk
Yeah.
my life for a stranger.
No.
Maybe
No.
maybe in real life depending on the situation. But like in this game, you're on
No.
your own.
No, I'm treating this like it's real life. I'm treating it like it's real life. The only people that I would go back for are my friends, and that's only if they expressly like be like, if you don't come get me, I'm gonna be mad at you.
Like me.
Because if not, I'm leaving your ass too.
That's the Hufflepuff and Gryffindor me talking that I need to go back and save that person on the hook.
Nope. Unnecessary.
I think it depends. If maybe if they're a really crappy person, maybe I won't do it. Also, another irritation that we've had, and it's happened a lot more recently. There must have been some update where when we're vaulting or jumping through a window or doing something, they've been grabbing us a lot easier, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like you'll be literally over the vault or out of the window, and all of a sudden they grab you, and you're like, "What?" Or like stab
And the
you. I
fact that
guess.
there's no, yeah, and there's no way to kind of combat that. Like, yeah, that happened to me a couple times in a row, and I wanted to throw her out the window.
It's
Because
like,
I was through the window. That is some BS.
well, like we can only run so fast. Like we have no perk. Like there's Meg Thomas has her sprint perk, and I was using that for a while. that did make us go a little bit faster, but only for a few seconds and not at any point. Like, it has to regenerate. It has to be at a certain point in the game. Like, you just like give me a little bit again.
And
Like, ah!
speaking of speed on that, with my Nia perk that allows you to jump off of things, and instead of stopping and like having to catch your breath, you run faster. If I whatever the height is on like a fall in the game is too small, because there are times that I'll like, those mounds,
Yeah.
I will like literally walk off, and there's like a rock at the edge, and I will literally walk off that rock like and drop like maybe 2 inches, and it's like, oh, you fell.
Time to sprint. Time to go fast.
Time to go fast.
Rip. I think I do like that there's not like fall damage in the game, which it wouldn't be fair if there was, because the killer can't take damage in general.
Yeah.
But that's very confusing when you go to play a game like Fortnite when there is fall damage.
Yeah. I'm glad that we haven't been going back and forth on that end, because
Yeah.
especially with the controls, it took me a minute to go back to like FPS like controls, because the controls for Dead by Daylight are totally different.
I know, and I keep trying to like sprint with the wrong buttons, and yeah, it's just a lot of thought process that I don't have capacity for.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else that I really need to add. Is there anything else that we think we should talk about by Dead by Daylight that we've had? Oh, I guess they have new Attack on Titan skins. Just gonna throw that out there. I haven't actually seen them yet, but
I
I will.
haven't even.
My gripe with them is that they're only on certain characters and none of the characters that I use.
Yeah, that's another thing that we could probably complain about for a hot minute, is like, even on the special event thing, is like they give you rewards for things, and it's totally random, and it's like they expect you to either have bought all the characters or just be okay with the fact that you're not going to be able to use something.
Well, right, and like we're playing your game, we're giving you money for things, and now you're gonna reward us for your 6 year anniversary, and you're gonna give me a mask for a character that I don't have, so the mask literally just goes away.
Yeah.
Goes away.
So like, I guess, yay, microtransactions in the game, kind of thing. Like, if you really want it that bad, then you'll buy all the characters. But
But that's the thing, is like,
I'm not
why
gonna
wouldn't the
play
game
them.
like either A, give you the mask for the characters that it knows you have, because it gives you what 6 or 7 or 8 characters right at the
Yeah,
bat, um,
yeah,
or like have some kind of random again, I don't know a lot about coding, but like some generator that just knows what slots are open in your game that you
yeah,
bought.
yeah. I definitely could understand it being a game capacity thing, in the sense that the developers were like, you know, with an online multiplayer cross-platform game, them not really having that completely figured out.
Fair.
I did take some gaming classes in college.
I took one development class. Okay, but this is my idea. So I had this great idea the other day when I was playing, and it was like when I wasn't playing, I was in the shower, the bathroom, or something. I don't know. I had a bathroom thought, and I was like, what if they made a mode that was kind of like Among Us? It was totally randomized. So like before the game, you set up one killer and you set up one survivor, like your normal whatever you have. Like if I was gonna play as Michaela and I was gonna play as Ghostface, and you play with, you can do your friends or online or whatever, and it's a random generated game. So like one person gets picked as the killer, and then you have 4 random survivors. Like you don't say I'm gonna be the killer this round or I'm gonna be the survivor. Like it just randomly generates it.
That would be cool. I would like that.
Right, and then like obviously you would know who you wouldn't. I wouldn't tell. Like you could make it blind. So, like I couldn't tell you that I'm being Michaela and Ghostface, or maybe I'm the Dredge or whatever. So then when you see the killer, like you don't know who it is unless I share that I'm the killer, or B, like you don't know like who the killer is going to be either. Like you totally
That
make it
would be
like
cool.
blind all the way around.
Yeah. I did read something. Somebody was like coming up with ideas for like different type of killers, and one of them was idea that like the person used to be a survivor, and then like the survivors treated them like crap, and they switched sides, and their perk was that they could change into any of the other survivors for like a certain amount of time, and like pretend to do tasks. So kind of like an imposter type thing.
Oh my god. It would have to have some kind of cooldown though to like transform.
Oh yeah, like, yeah, I think they like came up with like a certain amount of seconds, like, oh, like in the beginning of the match, you can only do it for this many times. And it's like, obviously, if you mess up and like you copy a character that's like still up and running around, and it's like, oh, wait, crap, there's two Nias.
Right, and like,
Well, I guess, because multiple people can do.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess it would work.
So you'd have to know, as the killer, you'd have to know like who's on the side, like who your options are to be, and make sure that
Yeah.
if there's only one Nia, maybe they won't know who it is at first, but they could realize that it's another Nia. Or like, would the killer's heartbeat still go, and then you just be suspicious of the killer like not being there, or
Like, yeah, I feel like it's something where you probably press a button and you just morph into one of the random characters that are in the match with you.
oh,
And then
it could be
what?
based off that movie like The Twins or whatever that movie, the Us Among.
Oh, us. Yeah.
Is it Us? You? Us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Us.
With the
Us.
bunnies?
You is the TV show. Us is the movie. Yeah.
It was at Universal. Sorry, that's what it could be on though.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, they could totally do the us people, and that would be cool. Be like a doppelganger power. Because they always say you shouldn't meet your doppelganger. That like seeing your doppelganger is like a sign that like something bad is going to happen because there can only be one of you.
Well, good thing I haven't met anybody that looks like me.
I get told all the time that I look like people's nieces, cousins, daughters, whatever. I'm like, I gotta fight some doppelgangers out there.
Real life Dead by Daylight. Let's go.
I got a knife somewhere.
I was gonna say I'm bringing an actual weapon to the game. I think we've hit the majority of our topics that we normally talk about, gripe about, like to discuss. I am going to be streaming it next week. I'm assuming Bridget will probably join if she's not doing anything. So you can catch us next week. I don't know what day it is yet. I will be posting.
You want me to pull up your?
I will be posting stream schedules. Basically on Twitter every week, so you can look at my Twitter feed for updates on what you'll be watching when you'll be watching it. I am live on YouTube and Twitch, so go ahead and hit that follow button for both, just so you never miss a moment, because why would you want to miss out on this fun stuff? Tomorrow, I am going to be playing Fall Guys at 6 p.m., so if you're not doing anything and you want to hear me get really mad at a game about people pushing me off of a ledge and not finishing races, you should tune in for that, because we all know Fall Guys hits a certain nerve. And that's why I stopped playing it for a while. But they were doing a Pusheen crossover. I don't know if it's over yet, but I really wanted to play while Pusheen was still in the game. It's also by the same creators of Epic as it is Fortnite.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's all. Hope to see you on the flip side. Again, look at Twitter for the stream schedule. It will be posted this weekend sometime for next week. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I will see you next time.